All right, so the other day I unboxed this beautiful E-Ride Pro SS 2.0, and I mentioned it was not my bike. This bike actually impressed me so much. Yep, folks, I bought one for myself. First off, these bikes are expensive, man. Somewhere in the neighborhood of $5,200. That's a lot of coin, man. I don't care how you cut it. That's a lot of money. Given the fact that I just bought a 2024 Sur-Ron for exactly $3,000, it's hard to swallow. I could almost buy two of those bikes for this one. So that's something to consider. But the fact of the matter is, there are a lot of things that impress me about this bike for the price point. Do I think it's worth that much of a premium over the Sur-Ron Lite BX? Not necessarily. It is in a lot of ways. That's a tricky question because it really depends on what you're looking for out of the bike. If you're a speed demon, absolutely yes, it's almost a no-brainer. Save the extra money because you're going to be spending that anyway on a 72-volt battery and controller. But the thing is, for a buyer like me, you guys know I'm not a speed demon. I talk about that all the time. I'm not looking for the fastest possible bike. I mean, there's nothing stopping me from going out and buying a Ninja. Like, I can afford just about any sport bike that I want. I'll take that back. Some of them cost like $70,000 to $80,000, so maybe not. But you know, I could get a fast one for pretty cheap, probably about the same price as this, as a matter of fact. So speed is not really the question. Obviously, it's more complicated than that because with these bikes, they go fast and they're very loosely regulated, so to speak. You can kind of ride them anywhere, sidewalk, in the dirt, on the street, kind of a little bit of wherever you want, really, right? Kind of wherever you feel like it. So that's really the appeal of these. But the main reason I just spent my hard-earned cash, plunked down, and walked out of the warehouse with one of these is so I can test it. I can give it like a long-term test, see if anything breaks, see how it breaks in comparison to the Sur-Ron. One thing I love about them Sur-Rons, man, they just work. I put that thing in the SUV, I take it out, I turn the key, it turns on. You know, it turns on, I twist the throttle, it goes. I haven't had a single problem with any of the 4 Sur-Rons that I've now owned as far as Light Bs, and the Ultra B2, which I barely rode, but that obviously was fine too. As far as non-Sur-Ron e-bikes that I've ridden, not counting this one because I just bought it, both had their fair share of problems, and they're pretty bad problems, I would say. Not like sweep under the rug type of things, but like pretty bad issues. In owning this, I will be making this my daily driver for a bit. I'll be retiring my my lime green BMX pedal Sur-Ron, which I love dearly, just for a bit. I'll probably bust it out later on, or figure out something to do with it. But I am excited. I'm excited. After riding this yesterday, I was like, wow, this bike is spectacular. It's actually really good. Is it good for the price? Yes, I do think it is. I think it's priced right exactly where it should be. It's kind of expensive. I think it could probably drop down to $4,500 all in. So we're gonna unbox this the same way I unboxed that one. We're gonna unbox this one and build it. Let's go. Before we get started, I gotta let you know, hicksfam.com, every $1 spent enters you to win my favorite e-bike, $1,000 cash, and our first link in the description is where you can find more information about that. Official rules are on the website. Don't forget, a lot of you guys messaged me after the last one was over saying, hey, is it too late to enter? Yes, it was too late. Now's your chance. Get in. You got 3 months. There's that. Okay. Let's see if I can beat my previous time. Plus, I already built one, so I kind of know what to do, and I don't have to be nearly as gentle because it's my bike and not my friends, so I don't have to be quite as touchy with the install. Same deal, this is actually going to be in reverse because last time the wheel was on this side, now it's on this side. Oh, I got so much packaging now. I wish there was something useful to do with like these packaging parts, except for besides, if you needed to put the bike back in the box, I guess that'd be really helpful. But other than that, like, what can you use this for? I'm sure there's something, I just don't know what. We have our box of goods. Once again, our front wheel. Now you may be asking yourself, why is this guy unboxing this again when he just did it? Well, there may be some of you who see this video and didn't see the previous one, so that's why. You never know, YouTube's a big place. It's like going to a town, but instead of a town, it's like an entire continent. I don't even know what that was supposed to mean, but anyways, just as beautiful as the first time I saw you, which was 3 days ago. Go ahead and get this off. So the problem with this is not an actual box at the bottom, so I'm kind of just containing all this stuff in here. Still gonna have to figure out where to put it after. All right, we learned a couple lessons, like with the brakes. It took me like 30 minutes to figure out that I could just undo the bolt on the brakes to get those on, so we won't be making that mistake. I also learned that this fender right here goes over the shock to keep it from getting muddied. So the front fender, we knew that. I don't even think I'll be using that. Here's our charger, and there we have it. So before I even deal with taking all this packaging off, which we will get to, we're gonna put the front end on first this time. All right, let's get our personalized tools. So is this the charger? Yeah, it is. Okay, I was right. Charger, this is the toolbox. Dude, I would love to know what the margin is on these bikes. So these are all from China. Every single one of these e-bikes, this one, the Sur-Ron, Talaria, they're all from China. Pretty sure most people know that by now. The E-Ride Pro SS 2.0, you cannot order from a shipping agent in China. So most people in the know now order their Sur-Rons, their Talarias, directly from shipping agents, which are basically drop shippers through Alibaba, and you can save thousands of dollars doing it that way. This bike, you cannot do that. And the shipping agents I've spoken to are actually scared to even try. I guess they could theoretically try, is what I've learned, but they won't even bother. So I had to pay that eye-watering sum of money, dude. That was $5,000. That's a lot of money. There's a lot of things you do with $5,000. For me, it makes sense. My channel's about these bikes, you know, etc. Still hurts. It's still painful. I wonder what the margin is. Like, how much does this bike cost to produce? I would guess in mass altogether, I'm gonna go ahead and say like 1,200 bucks. What do you guys think? Maybe even less than that. I mean, the majority of the expense, frame, they got that mass produced. Once they have the design down, they just print them. The battery, the controller, and the motor is the bulk of the cost, right? The wheels, you know, the brakes, this headlight. I do like, don't get me wrong, I love this bike. After riding it yesterday, the best part out of everything is the headlight switch. Such a game changer, such a tiny little detail that you would think the rest of the producers would catch on to and just add. You know, just add it. Just add that one little switch. Makes such a big difference in quality of life, but this is the only bike that I've seen that has it. Even the Ultra B, it has a high beam mode, but it doesn't have a headlight switch to completely turn it off. It's just, you don't realize how necessary that is until you have one, and then you don't have it. As a third party, you know, add-on with a Sur-Ron, or pretty much any bike I take it, but you know, it's just like, why not have it out of the box? If you haven't seen it, I did a video on this bike on my buddies. I'll link that in the description underneath hicksfam.com. But point is, I was really impressed with this bike when I rode it. And you know, that's not hard to do. You know, anyone rides something that's new and nice for the first time, you're gonna be impressed with it, right? That is why I had to put my money where my mouth is and buy one myself to see how it holds up over time. And if we're still impressed after 6 months or a year, then you know, that says it all pretty much. But I do plan on doing a variety of videos that, you know, they may have been done, but I'm gonna do them my way, like a range test, you know, just overall livability test, maybe like a 1-month update. Big switch for me. You guys know I really just ride that one Sur-Ron Lightbeat. That's it. You know why I love that bike is because it just works every single time. I have a ton of stuff I have to do on any given week, and the last thing I need is to get to my bike, start it up, and have it not work for any reason. So that is a big part of why I've been diehard Sur-Ron for so long. It's like, if it doesn't break or if it's not broken, you know, don't fix it. Simple as that. It's like, if I feel like I don't really need to upgrade something, then I won't. I just, you know, I'll keep rocking it the same way and ride it till the wheels fall off or it completely breaks, which just hasn't happened with those bikes. I mean, to be honest, the biggest problem I've ever had with my Sur-Ron is just flat tires. That's definitely the weak link of the bike, is the tires that it comes with. This bike comes with the same size tire in the front, slightly larger in the rear. Anyone who rides bicycles knows that a thicker tire does not necessarily mean less flats. It may make you ever so slightly less likely to get a flat, but it doesn't mean none. So flat tires are going to plague any bike that exists on the earth. But as far as my complaints about the Sur-Ron, I mean, that's really it. For the price, it's just a really good bargain. I don't know. Now, if you're still paying like $4,500 for one, that's not a good bargain at all. At that price point, it's an absolute no-brainer to go for something like this. But you got to remember, anyone in the know is buying Sur-Rons for like $3,000 or even less sometimes now. So at that price, that's where it becomes a little bit of a harder pill to swallow to cough up for an E-Ride Pro, but I digress. Let's go ahead and put this bike together before the sun goes down. Honestly, I'm not even confident we'll get it all together before the sun goes down. It's just been so gloomy weather out here lately. Which also sucks. Nobody likes the doom and gloom. If you do, well, you know, you're a special breed. Even though a lot of things about this bike impressed me the other day when I rode it for the first time, there's still more room for someone to perfect the bikes that are in this space. You know, the smaller e-bikes, smaller than the Ultra B or Start Varg or the upcoming Talaria Dragon. Oh, that's way too close. What am I doing? You know, I still feel like there's room for like that absolute perfection bike for the price point. This one is by far, I think, the closest for like, if you're willing to spend that much money, like 5,200 bucks, bam, you're in Ultra B territory. So if you're shopping for this, you should also be shopping for Ultra Bs, because the price on those, you can get an Ultra B for 4,500 bucks now. $700 less than this. That's 700 bucks for your electricity. You know, buy a different back wheel. There's not much you can do for the Ultra B that's not obscenely expensive. So that is another reason I had to get one of these for myself, is to do a head-to-head with that when my Ultra B comes in. Gotta remember, the other caveat of buying these bikes that I'm talking about at such a good price is the wait. You typically wait 45 days, sometimes 60 days, and sometimes more. And in absolute nightmare scenarios, your bike goes right back to China after you pay for it. That's happened. And that's real messy. Obviously, you get your money back, but it's just like wasting a bunch of time. That could be opportunity cost. You could be out riding. That's another reason why people overpay for these bikes or spend $5,200 on one like I did. You know, but when you gotta have something, you gotta have it. All right, clock is ticking, but we are making great time, much better than last time, because, well, we know exactly what we're doing. Simple as that. So we're just gonna install the shock, and then we're gonna put the front wheel on. That's really it for the install of these bikes. You know, it's funny, they charge you 150 bucks if you want it to be installed at the pickup of the warehouse where I picked this up. I'm like, yeah, I think I'll save the last $150 to my name after I just, you know, spent my last dime on this bike. Hey man, I do it for you guys. I do it for the content, all right? Make sure you like the video. Alrighty, so just lift this up. We'll do this one step at a time. Let's take this out first. A reminder, don't do this by yourself, kids at home. I always want to remind you guys, if you're not very confident in doing these installations yourself, remember these bikes go super duper fast. If you're even remotely not confident, just go ahead and pack it up, take it straight to a bike shop. They can easily do it for you. Let you know, if you're watching this video, well, you see it's really not much. So to each their own. All right, that's solid. Okay, the biggest learning process yesterday was the front wheel installation. It's a little tricky. The through axle, remember, this will hit you in the face if you do it from up here, which a lot of people do. Bam, and they get a face full of handlebars. So remember, the second strap you undo will have the bike pop up. So this front through axle is for some reason tricky. Had a bit of a hard time the other day getting it out. Let me see if we can do it a little more efficiently this time. Okay, boom, got a staple. That could hurt a neighborhood kitty. You gotta protect the cats out here, you know? Okay, so you loosen these 4 pinch bolts, not all the way till they're out, just loose enough. It took me the longest yesterday to figure out an efficient way to do this without damaging anything. I could not figure it out. Grab this, the biggest Allen key they give you. I don't think it actually does anything, but make sure that there's play enough for it to rotate. Then I grab my 10, which you don't get. You have to get one of these separately. Anything that fills in here that's small enough to fit inside, but large enough to not slip through will work. This is probably not the best. These are not the best tools for the job. I also recommend using a rubber mallet. And we just tap it. Boom. Okay, that's the first part of the problem finished. There we go. Holy mother God, Jesus. Okay, there we go. Let's go ahead and keep this up here for 1 second. Yeah, I am out of breath. This takes a lot of, to not die doing it this way. This is actually 10 times harder than it was yesterday too. I felt like yesterday everything was kind of more stuck in place. Today it was a little bit more loosey-goosey. Things were just twisting and sliding, and this was a little more difficult than it probably looks. Anyways, we're done. Ugh. Get this bad boy out. Still have to tighten that front wheel down, but voila, my own E-Ride SS Pro 2.0. Nice. Okay, with our fully assembled bike, make sure you go over every single bolt, mainly these ones on the wheels, front and rear. If you like having your wheels on the bike when you're on full speed, if you you know, unless you want them to come off when you're at full throttle, if you're into that sort of thing, that's fine too. You may be noticing we're missing one thing, and that is the pegs. I'm on the fence if I want to put BMX pedals on this. I think I'm going to put the stock pegs on for now, just so I can run the bike how it actually comes out of the box for a bit. You guys know me, I am a stock rider, so I'm really happy that there's not much you have to change about these bikes. The brakes are an upgrade from the Sur-Ron a little bit. I like these stock brakes, are not that good, but when you put, other than that, bike's good to go. As I go to put these pegs on, I realize, also, love that the pegs are black to match the bike. What are we missing on this bike? I'll give you a second. The display. There's no way to tell what your speed or battery is. I kind of like it without the display though, that's the thing. I wish you didn't need it to know how much battery you have. That's really all I need. I don't need to know how fast I'm going. I would love to rock it with no display, but you do need that to know your battery life, unfortunately, so we will be putting it right there. Okay, fully assembled bike. LCD is installed. One last thing that I didn't even do on Jeremy's bike. Oh yeah, look at that matte finish. Beautiful. All right, let's see how much battery we got. The last one I think had, I want to say had 71%. I mean, the last one is in Jeremy's bike. Oh, we locked out. Hello? I'm locked out. That's weird. Locked out of my own bike. Hello? What's up with this? There we go. I just needed a good push. Something was jammed. So if yours jams, just let's see if I can do it again. Yeah, it's jammed again. So I push, and it opens. 3 bars, ticking 4. Flip on our breaker. Let's see what we got. E-Ride Pro, 999 miles per hour. We got 72%. We got 1 more percent. I think, actually, it's probably the exact same. All right. One thing is this bike is a little bit heavier. You guys know I'm a weight weenie, which makes no sense with these bikes. Oh, it's just on. It's just on. Whoa. just backflips. Okay. Oh, it sounds so good. Yeah. Okay. Our E-Ride Pro, tomorrow we'll give it our first solid ride. What do you guys think? We are on the E-Ride Pro SS 2.0. This is my first day out in the streets, really riding it. Let's see what this bike can do. So I already posted one video kind of giving my thoughts about it after I unboxed it, the first initial ride. And in short, I was pretty impressed with it. I also mentioned that I should be because it's expensive. It's a pretty pricey bike at around 5,200 bucks. I don't see any way that anyone could get one cheaper. I've heard that you can now get one from China and save a couple bucks, but the margin is pretty slim. You still gotta cough up to get your hands on one of these. So pricey bikes, a little pricier than that probably, but they're a lot of fun. As you can see right now, we are cooking northbound into downtown LA, and we're going quick. We're going real quick. So my initial thoughts about the bike are as such. It's very good. Yeah, it's very good. It's got all the things that I would do to a Sur-Ron out of the box if I if I could design a custom Sur-Ron where they would ship it to me and it had like certain things already done. This is pretty much what you get. Slightly thicker rear tire. You always have the choice to go 16 if that's what you want. I realize that's not something for me after trying it myself. I don't do nearly enough trails for a 16 in the rear to make sense. It goes faster. It's got 72 volts out of the box. It's got a 40 amp hour battery, so you get decent range. You have a display, and most importantly, you have a switch for the headlight. You don't know how important that is until you don't have one on one of these bikes. So I am overall a fan of the bike. Big time. The thing you gotta remember is you can now get a Sur-Ron Ultra B for slightly cheaper than this. I am a Sur-Ron fanboy. I'm not affiliated with any of these e-bike brands in any way. I just ride them, I test them. That guy's cooking me. Let's see if we can catch him. Oh yeah, we got him. Yeah, we got him. Yeah, we got him. So that's nice. If speed is something you're looking for, this bike has it in multitudes. It's got plenty. It's got more than I think most people actually need. A lot of people will buy a Sur-Ron, start modding it without really even like, you know, putting it through its paces in the first place to understand what they really want out of a bike. But if you already know that you want the 72 volts, you want the ability to absolutely just cook everywhere you go for the front wheel to pick up when you're just chilling, well, this bike will do it. That goes without saying. Uh-oh. Are they coming for me? Nope, we're good. Okay, we're good. Just, you know, don't mind me, you know? I'm just, yeah, bye. Hey, I always say, I ain't running from the cops if I get pulled over. That's content. But, I would say you got a pretty good chance on this thing. I don't know. You got a pretty solid chance on this bike out of anything you could pick. It's pretty low key still. It looks like a Sur-Ron. I was just one of the self-driving Waymos. There's no one in there. There's a lot going on in the city right now. Yeah, another thing I like about the bike is it is quiet. Now, it's also new though. Look, this has nobody in it, I think. Nope, nobody in there. I think there's someone who could like see what's going on at all times though and kind of like pilot it themselves. But yeah, pretty cool, huh? So yeah, this still is like towing the line in between, at least where I live in LA. I think most police are familiar with what a Sur-Ron looks like and what it is even, and they just don't care. They've decided that they just don't care about people riding them. You may get them to care if you start wheeling it, going crazy in traffic and hit something, obviously. That'd probably get their attention, but other than that, you know, you're kind of in the gray zone. Now, if you're on an Ultra B, which feels similarly powerful to this, well, you kind of leave that gray zone because that bike's really big. It's bigger, it's a lot more comfortable, and it also has like other things like the passenger foot pegs, and it's got tail lights and turn signals that work, you know. So there's that. I don't know. I wouldn't even like get an Ultra B and try to register it anyway, so I don't even know what that process is like when you actually try to do it. I don't think it's going to be that easy as just going to the DMV and be like, hey, yeah, here's my registration page. Can I register this bike? Because you can't buy the taillight version in the US. You have to import it. So I don't know. Actually, I have no input on that. But yeah, I kind of mentioned all my thoughts about the bike in my previous video. I'm kind of reiterating a bit, but I got a movie shoot. Oh, those Fresnel lights, Kernel. I don't know. I don't even know. It's been years since I did production. I forgot what all that stuff is called. The amount of power you have on top on this bike is like equally gets you in trouble, but also is like very nice to have. You know, I'd say it's more on the nice to have side than gets you in trouble. If you're responsible with it, then it's nice because you can just kind of scoot around if you see an opening. But the thing is, it just teleports you into situations. Like if you're not ready for a variable that comes out at the side, or something's wrong with the pavement, or I don't know, anything, you're not gonna have time to react. And that's not just a this bike thing, that's just any bike that's fast thing. But these are this is something you can just buy. You can just buy it online and have it shipped to your house, and then you know, there it is at your house in a box. You just unbox it and put it in sport mode, and you can just do this right here. You just do this. Anybody, doesn't matter your age, doesn't matter how, you know, like your driving experience, whether you've ever ridden a bicycle or a dirt bike or anything, you can just buy one of these and do that. So that is that's the reality we're living in, folks. Is it bad? Is it good? I don't know. You guys let me know in the comments. What do you think? This bike's a little bit heavier than the Sur-Ron, which I'm not too crazy about. You do feel the heft too. It's about, I originally said it's about 20 pounds heavier. It's not quite that much heavier. It's maybe like 17, 18 pounds. I didn't do the actual math when I put the numbers up. We got a noise. I think that's a front brake noise. That's like a front brake squeak. It's like the brake. You said, what, sorry?
What make is that?
Oh, it's called an E-Ride. E-Ride Pro. It says it right, yeah, right here. E-Ride Pro.
You loving it, huh?
Oh, it's my first day on it. It's pretty nice.
Oh, you kidding?
It's my first day, yeah. So I'm just getting to learn this thing, dude. And it's, it sure does. Check this out. Yeah, it does. He's right. It sure does. Yep. Hey, he wasn't lying. This thing does haul ass. Does it haul a little too much ass? I don't know. I don't know how much ass needs to be hauled. You know, these are philosophical questions we must ask ourselves. I think it hauls the proper amount of ass, actually. I think it's right there where it needs to be as far as ass hauling goes. It's, yeah, I like it. It's pretty good. Yeah. All right, we're going the reverse way down Fig back towards the graffiti towers. So if you notice, that cop sped off pretty quickly. They're always parked in front of the graffiti towers now, which are right here. We're gonna see it once we pass this tree. Right there, bam. I'm gonna punch in so you can see those are the graffiti towers. Yeah, they're still covered in graffiti. That hasn't changed one bit. At this speed, I kind of feel like you do need turn signals. Like it's so freaking fast, dude. It just really is. I think turn signals would almost be welcome, and I don't really think that about most of the bikes that I ride. You got to remember, it is still fully capable of just chilling. I don't have to be going fast all the time. You can't just ride at this speed, and then you're kind of like another semi-invisible Sur-Ron rider, which is nice, you know. You don't have to be gassing it every single place you go, but it's really hard to resist. Here we are in eco mode. Did that with so much ease, it should be criminal. It's crazy. It has so much power in eco mode. It's crazy. It's so nice. If I could do one thing, I would take the eco mode feeling of this bike, and then maybe that's just a 72 volt thing that I haven't noticed, but I would take the eco mode in this bike and put it everywhere else. I'd put it in all the other bikes that exist. Okay, battery check. So this is the second video I filmed today. We're at 64% battery. We have done 13 miles, 13.6 miles, and we started with about, I want to say 98% because I forgot to clock. We had 1.6 miles, so I want to say we did 14 miles, about 14 miles, almost 40% battery. Let's double that. So we'll get about 30 miles before we start hitting around like the danger zone, like of 20%. That's pretty solid. Gotta remember, I'm a big boy. You know, I'm sitting around 215 pounds. So, all right, there's one thing I want to do on this bike, and we got to go do it. We have to, and that is hit the downhill course. I don't know how it's going to be today. That squeak is driving me crazy. That's got to be the disc brake just squeaking up on something. I'm gonna have to fix that. All right, so we're gonna have to cut through downtown to get all the way to Lower Grand. That's gonna be a little bit of a push. Look at this thing right here. Beautiful. And we love that. In the middle of the road with a wheelchair, man. I mean, they're there on purpose. It's not like they want to be like moved. So if someone's like, why don't you move them? They're there on purpose. I remember when we used to live in, I used to live near Skid Row. People would, that's just like a common thing, the wheelchair. And then they, you know, say, hey. Yep, yeah. If you notice, he was pushing himself around with his feet. Yeah, you know, hey, it is what it is. Everybody's got to eat, you know. I ain't mad at it. What's going on, man? Yeah. Yeah. It's supposed to go 60, but you know, I'm kind of fat, so it goes around 55. Yeah, a cat like you probably goes 65. All right, we're fitting it. What do we got? That's already so fast, dude. I mean, going 50 on street roads, you forget how fast that is until you're going that fast. It's crazy. It's like the world is a blur. You know, the slightest mistake or just someone who doesn't see you and pulls out, bam, you are getting smeared across the earth. Straight up. Hey, look at that thing. It's got rims on it. It's kind of sick. So, you know, it's just like, the speed is there if you need it. It's probably not something I need as much as, you know, I don't need it all the time. It's cool to have when it's there though. Anyways, right now we're heading up to Lower Grand. I mean, the best thing about these bikes in general is just how quickly you can get around the city. Like we're on the opposite end of downtown right now. Staples Center is, by all means, I would say, let's turn our headlight on. All right. We got that. It's a switch. You got to remember to actually press it too. Staples Center is opposite side of the city. Now we're on pretty much the other side of the city. I think the other end of downtown is basically Sunset Avenue, Boulevard, whatever that is. And we're almost there. We're gonna go up here. Oh man. Yeah, maybe the brake sensors are not that bad of an idea, because if you're standing up to like push through something and you get that whiskey throttle, oh man, the bike is gone, dude. It is 100% gone. It is out of your control, out of there, gone. I want to go up these stairs right here. That's where we're gonna start, and we're gonna test this bike's stair climbing ability. Once these fine folk are out of the way. All right, let's send it. Strong will do this no problem. Let's do it in eco mode too. Too easy. Too easy. Scary how easy it is. In eco mode, by the way. I don't think the Saran would have done that in eco mode. So that's impressive. I give it that. That's a big star it just got from me. That was kind of crazy. Well, honestly, my favorite attribute about this bike is that it can be operated in eco mode like for 80% of situations. It really can. You can pop it up in eco mode, do some wheelies, get around town easily. I mean, once you hit 28 right here, you're like, okay, well, this is not that fast. But the amount of pep it has to get you up out of that from 0 to 28, I mean, it's still not much. But if you have ridden eco mode on a Suron, you know it's just like literally nothing. It's actually, I recommend people only ride the Suron in sport mode, because then you don't have to get used in your brain to like how the other mode feels, right? You're just always in sport mode. That's just how the bike is. They should just take the eco mode out altogether. It's not necessary to have. Beautiful. I love border collies. He's ready for playtime. Something fancy going on. Everybody's got a suit and tie, man. You got me. My shoes are good, right? Hey, they ain't got holes in them yet. That means I'm keeping them. Yeah. That is light. It's dreadful. All right, so we're gonna go down some stairs. That's gonna be our second and final task for today. And of course, we're gonna do it in the eco mode. Let's see if it's making any new noises by the time we get to the bottom of this. It's kind of crowded today. Pick our lane. Oh, there's a squirrel. Don't mind me. Let's see which way we're gonna go. We're going left today. This is the downtown downhill course. Anyone who's new. Yeah, we do this on pretty much every bike. Oh, there's people right there. We're gonna slow down so we don't kick dirt in their face. Right there. And we're gonna speed up. Ugh. So far, so good. So far, so good. This bike is very maneuverable. What was that? I don't like that. What was that? That brought me to a screeching halt. When I hear a noise like that, that just makes me stop. What was that? That could have been anything because the bike is super brand new, but I did not like how that sounded. I want to say that it was just this. I don't know though. That was kind of weird. All right, well, let's keep going. See if we can make this thing start rattling. Excuse me. Not trying to, you know, lose a front wheel or anything like that, but we're pulling up. Okay. There we have it. Please cross. All right. What's making sounds? Something's making some sounds. I want to say it's these brake lines. That's what I hope it is, at least. If there's anything more serious than that, we're in trouble. All right, sport mode. Let's hit Little Tokyo. M3. I love those old school M3s. E46. Those are old school now. If you looked at that if you thought when I said that, like, you're like, that's not old school. You're old. I'm sorry, you're old just like me. We're all old now. If you think the E46 M3 is not old school, well, I got bad news for you. All right, we're gonna cut in here right in front of the cops. Don't mind me. And we have a variety of sounds coming from the bike now. There's a squeak, there's a couple rattles. So, I mean, you guys be the judge. It's still in one piece. Still feels good. It's just making a lot of sounds. So, we go through the famous light tunnel and then we go down some more stairs. Bike still sounds good though. It feels good. This ride's smooth. So, you know, I mean, I don't know if the front wheel doesn't fall off right now. It gets a passing mark from me still, but that still remains to be seen. All right, so from here. Whoa. Okay. You know, we're gonna do a little slice and dice. Gotta cut through Skid Row somewhat. Okay, that front, y'all hear that chirp? Yeah, it's driving me insane. I don't know what that could be, but we gotta do something about that. Look at a little ATV. It's pretty sick. Please do not sit. It had a sign. I guess people keep taking. I bet girls are taking Instagrams on the ATV, and people are like, stop sitting on the damn ATV. Like, the wheel's tight, bro. I feel like I'm going crazy. Like, something ain't right though. Just doing all types of. Oh, that guy was going the wrong way on a one-way. I don't know, folks. Pray for me. If anything happens, it's happening on video live. It's going on YouTube eventually, one way or another. Someone's got to get this footage. All right, but anyways, right now we're just smashing through. When your bike is not totally dialed, you start feeling nervous. That's just how that is. Oh, that guy's on the curb. What the hell? He's so close to the curb. He's like less than an inch from the curb. All right, we're gonna wrap up. Going up this street right here, which is 3rd. We're gonna wrap around the edge of downtown, and then we're gonna bomb back in. Yo, my gloves are basically like my turn signals. This is my best bet for being seen if I need to switch lanes on this thing. So I tell you guys, we're neon colors. I don't know. First off, you look cool. Second off, you get to be seen. I don't know. That's a pretty big benefit for me if you ask me, but to each their own. One thing I do know, we're in eco mode. If I do need to get off of this thing in an emergency, at least I can do it better at 20 miles an hour than we can at, you know, 60. Bro, she just straight up sent it. She got honked at from like 100 yards away. Crazy. All right, well, I can't see anything. We're going up. This may be our last pin of the day. And then we're gonna go right back down. I think whatever I did going off-road, or off-road, quote unquote, you know, going down them stairs, definitely, it made some things loose. I don't know exactly what, Well, we're gonna find out. Once we get back to the car and get some tools, we're just gonna jam straight through here. This is a little shortcut through the city. Check me out. You gotta watch this right here, but then you go through here. Secret. Oh, sometimes cars come flying through here the other way though, which is scary. And you got this spot right here too. Oh, which is pretty sick. You got more time than I do. Oh. Get through this, whatever the hell's going on right here. I don't even know. Just your average LA alley. I don't know, folks. Anyways. Let's go ahead and keep going. Jeez. Okay, at least I kind of have a better idea of what could have, what's causing this feeling that I'm feeling. And it ain't a good feeling that I'm feeling. It's like an awkward feeling. It's like when you let one rip and it's a little, you're like, oh no, I need to go to the bathroom. It doesn't feel good. But you're like, okay, let me just take care of this and nobody's gonna notice. It's kind of like, yeah, it's like that, I guess. Yeah, I want to shred, but you guys hear that little rattle? Whatever that is I think it's unrelated to the stem feeling I'm feeling too. It's okay. I don't think anything's broken. I think it's just some loose stuff that we got to tighten up, honestly, which is not that big of a deal. Still super impressed with this bike. It's still a lot of fun. Dude, it just wheelies like, oh my God. It's fun, I can't lie, it's a lot of fun. Yeah. Hicksfam.com, first link in the description. Make sure you guys check that out if you are interested. Oh, we just dodged poop. Either way, thank you very much for watching yet again. I'll catch you in the next one very soon. Peace out.